Alright, y'all, look, we got a crazy video. Basically, this video says the dark business of Adin Ross. And I want to do a little background check. I want to know where Adin getting all this goddamn money from.
Controversial streamers, there's almost always one name that comes up first.
Adin Ross.
Adin Ross is interesting because on one hand, he's top 1% successful. But on the other, this is how the internet describes it.
The Adin Ross is a goddamn idiot.
Scumbag.
Laughing stock, hypocritical,
Stupid, racist, and misogynistic far-right streamer, Adin Ross.
I don't think Adin's stupid.
To start off the interview, I guess the first question we would have for you is, would you say that online you're hated?
Damn!
Adin has built an empire on being the bad guy. Why?
Controversy sells.
And he's right, it pays to be the villain.
I don't give a f.
But when you wear a mask for profit long enough, you eventually forget how to take it off. So what's the most true and authentic version of Adin Ross? Well, I've come to realize that the answer to that question is a bit more complicated than you'd think. To understand Adin Ross, we need to go back to before the controversial rise. Back to when he was just starting to figure out something far more simple. How to get people's attention. Adin grew up in Boca Raton, Florida, at least until his parents' divorce scattered his childhood across the country. One year he was the new kid in New York, the next in California, then eventually back to Florida again.
If I get 50,000 followers on Vine...
But constantly restarting life like that forced Adin to adapt fast. He had to figure out new social dynamics and find new friend groups over and over again.
Damn, that
He
nigga
learned quickly that the easiest
that
way to fit in.
Adin, you watching this shit, boy, you was chopped, my nigga. You was chopped.
Was to become a mirror, to read the room, make people laugh, and give them exactly the version of him they wanted to see. When you were bouncing around from school to school, do you think that that helped you, like, become the perfect streamer? Like, you figured out how to entertain?
I think, yes. I think being socially uncomfortable, being thrown into the deep end of the pool, you know, it makes you. You know, it really, really does.
You see,
because
Adin
being a
started
new
off
kid
as a
3
kid
times
who was
is
forced
crazy.
to learn how to fit in, and in the process, he accidentally trained himself for the perfect job. When he started streaming NBA 2K from his bedroom, that same survival instinct from school kicked in. He'd read the
Right now at Ashley's New
For
Year's
real.
sale, you can pay no interest
do
for
gotta
5
stand
years
out.
on top betting brands.
I ain't doing all that extra
chat
shit.
and adjust his personality in real time to give the viewers exactly what they wanted. And that was the secret weapon that took him from a no-name 2K streamer to the face of Twitch in under a year. Adin saw the ceiling on gaming content and pivoted hard. He quit streaming 2K and rolled out a series called E-Dating that absolutely exploded online.
Yeah, he started that.
But what made Adin Ross a household name was his streams with rappers. Think of these streams like a late-night talk show. If the host was 20 years old, totally unprepared and openly flirting with the guests.
How big is your dick?
Big enough.
Adin leaned into being sus, pushing boundaries, making things awkward, and treating platinum-signed artists like they were his actual friends. It shattered the barrier between Hollywood and social media.
He did, bro.
Adin gained over
I ain't gonna lie, Adin was the first nigga that was bringing rappers and shit on stream. I'm not gonna lie to you. He was the first. I think he was doing that shit before. I think Adin was popping before Kai and them. Like, he was the first nigga getting the bag off Twitch. Sorry for calling him the N-word. I think Adin was the first dude getting the bag off Twitch. I ain't gonna lie, this ain't no cat, no disrespect to Ziz, but I think Adin kind of gave Ziz and B-Lou another light.
million followers in April alone.
We love you, Tekka.
He was averaging viewer counts in the 6 figures and quite literally becoming the future of Twitch. For a brief moment, Adin had it all. He was the face of streaming. He was suddenly friends with the influencers that he once adored. But that level of fame is dangerous, because once you have the attention of millions, you become a target for people who want to buy your influence. Deals that pay insane money, but always come with a catch. Think of it like a button. When you're the face of a platform like Twitch, it's as easy as pushing this button and a few $1 million pop out. The problem is, the people writing these checks usually come from some shady places. It's dirty money. Every time you press that button, you sell a piece of your reputation. You invite the backlash in, and half the world learns to hate you just a little bit more.
Get that money.
Most creators keep their distance. They see the money, sure, but they look at the cost and they walk away. And for a while, Adin didn't risk it either, because at that point, Adin was widely known as the edgy, funny guy. When he came onto the scene, he ruffled feathers, but people loved him for it. But that button gets a lot harder to ignore when you grow up with nothing.
People think that, like, I had it very easy my whole life. We were financially stable, medium class, up until about senior year. It got really hard for us. And, you know, I would go literally some nights without eating dinner.
He realized he could make every single one of those problems disappear forever. All he had to do was push the button.
Let's go, come on. Let's go.
How much is that?
Them goddamn gambling, when people be promoting that gambling, that shit is a bag, y'all.
The temptation became too irresistible. Adin took a massive sponsorship deal with Roobet, one of the earliest online crypto casinos, and suddenly he's gambling live on stream for insane amounts of money. Tens of thousands flying into cartoon slot machines while thousands of viewers watch. The reward was absurd. Leaked messages showed that he was making up to $2 million a month. His lifestyle inflated overnight. Luxury cars, LA mansions, watches that cost annual salaries.
I bought a Lambo before that, which was stupid, but at that time, I'm 19 years old. I want to buy a Lamborghini to show everyone, like, you.
The money was quite literally life-changing. It gave him the ability to support his parents, help his family, give gifts to friends that don't even sound real.
This is not my car.
Swear my life.
That nigga was giving Teslas and shit. He moved Prime out the hood.
Now, there's a dark side of the bun, and we're getting to that, but first, we've got something exciting to tell you guys. So, we started this channel a little over a year ago, and genuinely, it was crazy to see how quickly it picked up steam.
Yo, golf carts!
Golf cart! W golf cart in the chat.
But now, almost
Golf
every day,
cart.
we get DMs asking us how we write our scripts, but we're also want to support the channel and
do anything to just make money off crypto.
the end of 2021, at that point, you were edgy, you were...
Hold on.
Okay, so you blew up super quick, and then you were like pretty well loved at that point. You were edgy, you were a little sus, but everybody seemed to like you a lot. Towards the end of 2021, things kind of seemed to shift.
The first thing that we're going to talk about today, easily one of the most requested topics, it involves gambling and a YouTuber, spotlighter, stirs.
I had been hearing for a while about how online, unregulated crypto casinos were hiring some of the biggest influencers in the world.
Cause you gotta think about it. If Adin in front of what, 100,000 people, and if we pay you down there $5 million just to promote this, you already got 100,000. So if you promote this and 100,000 people promote shit on their platforms, now we just got more people to invest in this. So
to promote them, and then would pay them
ain't nobody
for
tell y'all
every
to click that
fan
link
they
in
got to
bio.
sign up.
He's willing to do anything to just make money off the back of his fans and then laugh about it.
You started to get some pushback from certain people, and you weren't as well
I ain't
liked in
paying the
certain
bills.
I don't know. Adin Ross, everything he has done is stupid.
He knows what he's doing is f***ed up, but on the other hand, he's unwilling to stop doing it.
I've just never seen this life-changing money in front of me in front of a table like that. You know what I mean?
I get it. And you're 20.
What was that first point where you
Nigga,
started?
I'm taking the money and I'm gonna bet on my future, then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna save y'all niggas. That's how I'm gonna do it.
Notice that, and what did that feel like?
The hate gets to me, I'm not gonna lie, because the hate's different now. It's just like, a lot of people watch me, they don't even like me. It's weird.
I honestly, at that point, was like, as long as my friends and me are having fun, making good content, and my community's happy, I didn't really care at that point.
Most creators would panic here. They would apologize, pivot to safe content, and try to win the internet back. But for whatever reason, the backlash did the exact opposite for Adin.
For me, I kind of liked it. I liked kind of being, you know, not liked by the mainstream crowd. You know, I like that a lot, honestly.
Adin, quit now, and I will respect you.
Can't quit now.
Then I think
How you gonna tell me to quit getting a bag?
turning your head and making blood money.
This was a defining moment for Adin, because he realized that being the villain paid better than being the hero. So
I know it's
he
morals
doubled
and
down.
principles, but let that nigga get that
Early
bag and take care of his
2022,
family.
Adin traded in the Roobet deal for a massive partnership with Stake. Stake is a different beast entirely. It's a platform with pockets deep enough to headline F1 teams and Premier League jerseys. So when the pen hit the paper, the financial scale shifted instantly. Suddenly, Adin wasn't making life-changing money anymore. He was making you money. This is where the relationship between Adin and Twitch turned into a dangerous game of cat and mouse. On one
I
side,
guess you
have
can't bet on Twitch?
owned by Amazon, desperate to keep their platform safe for advertisers like Coke and Disney. On the other side, you have their biggest star, screaming at digital slots and continuing to test every rule in the book.
You have to follow policy and follow rules.
Now, Adin was definitely the face of it, but he wasn't alone. Hordes of streamers were jumping on the crypto casino's payroll. The platform effectively tore itself in two. Half the top creators were cashing these massive checks, while
I ain't gonna lie, bruh. Nobody tell y'all to gamble y'all last dollar. You tune in to watch me have fun. I ain't tell you to gamble your last $100 your rent money. That's how I look at it. I ain't selling my soul, but I'm gonna use this money to cleanse this bitch and come back and save you.
The other half were screaming about the
Nigga,
ethics
give
of
me a
promoting
gambling
gambling to
deal.
kids.
How can you feel good about taking money from people like that?
But here was the problem. Nobody was
How can
actually
you do
breaking
it every
the
day,
rules.
nigga, saying
Twitch
you
couldn't
money?
punish Adin for something that they allowed. So, they made some changes. They banned unregulated gambling sites entirely. Publicly, they framed it as a moral stance, protecting the kids from the addiction. But if you ask Adin, it wasn't about the morality. It was about the money.
How did that all play out behind the scenes?
So, Pokimane, Hassan, they pushed for Stake being banned on Twitch.
Okay.
I was in the gym and I got a text from someone on my team. Just got off the phone with Twitch. They're not banning Stake, bro. No work. They banned it 30 minutes later. So they banned Stake. Why did they ban Stake? They banned Stake because Stake didn't want to cut Twitch in on a check. What does Twitch do? They go to NFL, they do a DraftKings deal worth billions of dollars. So if you go look at Twitch right now, you can gamble on Twitch. They didn't ban gambling. There's a misconception they banned gambling. No. They banned casinos where they can't make money off of. They are currently
Ooh, that's where it counts. If the person can't make money on it and somebody else making money on it, we're going to ban it. That's all it is.
monetizing off gambling right now.
Twitch cut off Adin's gravy train, so he had to pivot, but he didn't go back to gaming, and he wasn't all that into the rapper streams either, so he reached out to the one guest that nobody else dared to touch.
You haven't listened?
Yeah, that nigga went in partnership with a whole different app. That's boss moves, nigga. He went to a whole different
all over
app.
everywhere. You're like the #1 person right now. You know, no dick suck. Like, bro, like.
Yeah, I've conquered the internet. The internet is mine, all of it. I took it all.
In the span of a single summer, Andrew Tate had gone from total obscurity to being the most viral person on Earth. And Adin's first stream with him went absolutely ballistic. It averaged over 100,000 viewers and peaked at 266,118. This was the biggest stream that he had ever done, bigger than the E-dates, bigger than the rapper streams. There was no way Adin wasn't doing another one.
I've been streaming for a very long time. We're about to peak my most viewers ever had.
But there was a massive elephant in the room.
Yeah, Andrew Tate
was
had
one
a
of the
goddamn,
most,
I don't
if
know
not
what,
the
why he
most
was so
controversial
crazy.
person on the planet at the time. And because of that, he was systematically erased from the modern internet. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, they all blacklisted him. However, Adin once again saw a loophole. Tate didn't have a Twitch account, so technically there was nothing to ban. And no one had explicitly written a rule saying you couldn't talk to him on stream, so while the rest of the world was deplatforming Tate, Adin rolled out the red carpet.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, do you hear me?
For the rest of the year, he milked that loophole for everything it was worth, even flying across the world to stream with Tate IRL.
I'm talking to him. No, you're not.
But in January of 2023,
He ain't dumb. Hey, Adin got some of that DDG. Hey, if y'all know, y'all know. Whoever's hot and trendy, get to know him. Be around him. Film content. Whoever get hot is not D-riding. It's knowing the algorithm.
the cat finally caught them out.
And Andrew Tate was hot. That nigga Adin Ross was on there.
Twitch had seen enough and slapped Adin with his 7th ban from the platform, a massive 30-day suspension from streaming. To the executives, it was a disciplinary timeout, a warning shot to force their unruly star back into line. But for Adin, sitting in silence for a month, locked out of his empire, it didn't feel like a lesson. It felt like an attack. It radicalized him. He realized that Twitch wasn't just enforcing rules, they were rewriting them, and in doing so, they were trying to take away his button forever. Adin was done playing games. He was done with the censorship, and luckily for him, there was something being built behind the scenes. You see, when Twitch banned the major gambling sites, they really pissed off the founders of Adin's old sponsor, Stake.
Eddie, the CEO of Stake and Kick, he says, all right, you know what? Yeah, let's boss up. Makes a streaming platform.
Eddie Craven, who happens to be the youngest billionaire in Australia, decided to step into the ring with Twitch. He wrote out Kick. Kick positioned itself as the antidote to everything wrong with the streaming industry. It prioritized creators over corporate advertisers. It promised total creative freedom, stripping away the strict guidelines that had suffocated streamers for years. But a platform with no users is useless. They needed someone big enough to drive real traffic to the site.
My original deal before I got banned on Twitch, which I think was like, what, 2 weeks after I came to Kick? It was something like that.
It was
like
close.
a month. I was supposed to go on Twitch, obviously funnel from Twitch to Kick. Twitch didn't like that. It was a big no-no. They took me out, and that was it.
After the 30-day suspension cleared, Adin began dual streaming. He would go live on Twitch, talk to his 7 million followers, and tell them to migrate over to Kick for the real content. But he knew he needed a hook. He needed to show them that Kick was different. So he went on this absurd marketing campaign to test every limit he could imagine.
Recently, there's been this unholy floodgate, like a dam that's broken in the mind of Adin Ross's brain, that's led to him making the worst decisions imaginable over the last couple months?
What the f is going on?
He pulled up Pornhub live on stream. He tweeted things he knew would incinerate his reputation in the mainstream, including the infamous two
Aiden do know how to push the buttons,
It
though.
seemed like for a minute you leaned into the villain role. Do you think that's a fair and accurate assumption?
I do. I remember this like it was yesterday. I went over to Kick, I made a tweet, and I said that there
He was lit, you know, you can do anything, nigga, on this site.
are two genders. A lot of people hated me for that. A lot of people.
But he knew what it was gonna do.
And the entire world really went at me for that.
But Adin wasn't stupid. He knew exactly what he was doing.
I had to kind of say and do some crazy to make Kick pop. I literally might have 2 people in this room this week on stream. Suck my fucking nuts! Stop it!
Twitter, you guys are the reason why the internet is soft.
Stop! Bang!
He was proving a point. On Kick, you can't be canceled.
There's no terms of service over there. You guys can say whatever you want in my chat. No.
And that's why he was doing that, bro, which is cool, but it's just gotta get that pay right for Kick, bro, on Kickball. Kickball.
Yeah, man.
But on Twitch, you definitely can.
This is cancel culture. I'm gonna cancel culture.
I'm Adin Ross, and Adin Ross is gonna say what the f he says.
In late February 2023, amidst the chaos of his marketing rampage, Twitch had seen enough. They issued his 8th ban. This time, it was permanent.
A lot of the people on the Kick side of things loved it. And they kept, you know, endorsing it a little bit, like, oh yeah, you got it, you know, we love it. Controversy sells, and it did. And Kick is very successful because of that. So
the bridge was burned, but Adin was standing on the other side, holding the match and laughing. He had successfully migrated his audience. Kick's user base exploded, growing over 400% in months, largely off the back of Adin's controversy. By mid-2023, Adin Ross had achieved something that is statistically impossible in the influencer economy. He had been banned, deplatformed, and labeled a public enemy, and yet he was bigger than ever.
Too far. I don't give a. Cancel me. I don't give a.
In any other story, this is the part where the creator gets humble. They apologize. They try to rebrand to save their career.
Did you feel like that backlash was like deserved?
No, I don't. I think that the things I say and the things I do is what 90-something% of the streamers and the online people say off camera and do off camera.
He realized that on Kick, there were no referees. He had equity, he had a contract, and most importantly, he had an audience that followed him because of the chaos, not in spite of it. He was technically uncancelable. So instead of pivoting to safety, he started treating real life like a side quest. He launched a boxing promotion company cleverly named Brand Risk. He saw the massive numbers in influencer fighting and decided he wanted to own his own league.
Netflix most valuable promotion, Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson mega event, makes history with over 108 million live global viewers.
This was his crack at trying to build a billion-dollar business that could outlast his streaming career.
I launched a brand, my Brand Risk brand.
He revamped the rapper streams at the highest of levels, bringing on names like 21 Savage and Playboy Cardi. He pulled off the biggest stream of his life, an interview with Donald Trump that peaked at over 580,000 viewers. He was untouchable. But when you beat the game at 22 years old, you run into a new problem. It's not cancellation, it's boredom.
I couldn't realize it, but when I was grinding, that was like the peak feeling of me. When I was accomplishing all this stuff. I got this and I got that and I did that and I did this, and I just feel like I've kind of already conquered a lot of the things like at a really young age.
Sure. And what does it feel like to conquer things at a young age?
I don't know. I honestly, man, it's
like,
really
what's love?
thought, because honestly, like, that's what drives me crazy sometimes. Like, what do I do now?
This explains the erratic behavior we saw throughout 2024. The cycle wasn't about him trying to change and failing, it was about him trying to feel something. He would announce that he was retiring, then come back a week later. He would say he's moving back to Miami to find his roots, then fly back to LA. He would swear off gambling, claim that he was done with the toxicity, only to sign a new deal with Stake or Rainbet just months later. To the audience, it looked like a struggle for his soul, but to Adin, it was just content.
Every time I have trauma, I put it in my back of my brain. I'm very desensitized. My brain is very desensitized.
He had pushed the button so many times that the lights didn't look as bright anymore.
It's super hard for me to sometimes feel things. I don't know. It's almost like I'm emotionless. Like I feel like I beat the game.
And that's a dangerous place to be, because when the normal thrill wears off, you have to raise the stakes.
That nigga said I beat the game.
Imagine being able
I
to
think
build
Adin made a comeback. I'm not gonna lie.
Thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
I think he made a comeback.
You said that a lot of people can't hate you online because they don't know the real you. And at the time, you definitely said that you were leaning into the villain role. Have you pulled back from that villain character? And are you
working out?
So what's the most true and authentic version of Adin Ross?
I think now. I think the fact that I will do a stream with 6ix9ine if he calls me up tomorrow. I think the fact that I would do a stream with anybody. I would do a stream with Jeffrey Epstein if he was still alive. Just a question. I'll do a stream with Diddy. No, I'm not joking. People that genuinely have been completely stripped from platforms and affected in their real life, they deserve some chance of speaking. They deserve some way of talking. That's where it needs to head. I don't have to like you, but I think you
can take somebody's freedom of speech.
That's my whole stance on that.
As of today, the machine is still running. Adin Ross proved that you can build an empire on controversy. He proved that if you bring enough eyes and enough money, the rules don't apply to you. But the victory looks a lot like a trap. He's admitted openly that he feels like a puppet, a slave to the entertainment. He feeds the chat the chaos they crave because he's terrified that if he stops, the screen goes black.
It's like people know me when they see me, but they don't know me. People just will look at me as like I'm like this puppet, this entertainment puppet.
Whatever you guys want, bro. I'll do GTRP. I don't care. I'm a slave to you guys, bro. What do you guys want, bro? I'm a slave. I don't care, bro. I'm a puppet.
Whether you love him or you hate him, it's hard.
He be giving y'all what y'all want, bro.
Hard to deny that Adin Ross changed streaming forever. He shattered the corporate safety of Twitch and ushered in a new era of raw, unfiltered, and often dangerous content. He built a button that prints money. But the thing about the button is once you start pressing it, it's almost impossible to stop.
Yeah.
If you made it this far in the video, I just wanted to say thanks for watching. At the time of recording this, we're at 95,580 subscribers, and we're trying to hit 100K by the end of the year. So, you know, if you wanted to subscribe, that'd be awesome. Also, I did want to mention that
Fireman video on Adin Ross, man. That dude, he broke a level, bro. At a young age, bro. At a young age, broke some levels, bro. So it's a whole lot that go into social media, bro. But do y'all homework and y'all research, and y'all might end up like him, bro. But to make money with the controversy, it come with it. You gotta be numb to that. People talking about you, your family, all that. Some people know how to do it, but hit that like button, comment down below. I'm gonna see y'all in the next video, y'all.